I got a gang, you got a gang, everybody's gotta have a gang. But there's only one real gang for me. Good old Andy's gang! Yes, sir, Andy's gang. With little Squeaky. Midnight the cat. And that mystical, magical Froggy the Gremlin. But first, let's get on with our story. Oh, say, this is another favorite of mine, gang. It's called the Leopard Hills. Many years before this story began, two beautiful golden-haired little English girls were kidnapped during the great Dasara festival at the palace in Bakore province. Of course, every mile of the vast jungle province had been thoroughly searched. Yet, in the villages near the Leopard Hills country, rumors still persisted that one man, a former palace mahout named Babu, knew the answer to the mystery. But after all these years, those of the palace had forgotten the tragedy.
Yes, Gunga, I think I know what Asit meant when he spoke of the regent's two daughters. You see, he was not referring to Sir Cedric, but rather to Sir Guy Balter, who was regent in charge many years ago. Have you never heard of that sad happening, Gunga?
No, Highness.
Oh, of course not. It all happened before you were born.
Tell me of it, Highness.
Well, I was a young prince at the time. And my father, who was Maharajah, of course, had invited Sir Guy Balter and his family to Bakore for the Dasara festivities. Thousands waited eagerly for a sight of my father and Sir Guy to come by in the golden howdah. His two daughters then, 2 years old and 3 years old, and his wife were escorted to a place in the crowd from which they could see. It was not until the parade had ended that we discovered that Sir Guy's two daughters were missing.
You mean they were lost?
Such so, Gunga.
You were right, Rama. Old Deepak has told me all we will need to know. He gave me all the landmarks to lead us to the house of Babu, who has been many times to the Leopard Hills and also speaks the strange tongue of the leopard worshippers.
But then if he has been there and has learned the strange tongue, he would know if the story of the lost ones is true.
This I said to old Deepak, but all he would tell me was that old Asad's secret was shared by Babu. But come, if we leave before daylight, we can reach the house of Babu by nightfall tomorrow. You will ride Biva.
Good. You will sleep in my house. Come.
One night, Billy was watching his favorite TV hero. And right in the middle of a fight, G-Man Jim ran out of ammunition. Psst, Jim, Billy's got the answer. It's the new Mattel Firebolt gun. It never runs out of ammunition. Show him how it works, Billy. Just drop in a perforated roll of 50 caps. Pull back the bolt and fire a smoking burst. Or flip the switch, pull back the bolt, and fire it with vibrasonic sound. It can fire forever that way. You see, it's really two guns in one. It fires caps with real smoking action. Or you can switch to vibrasonic sound. It's the big two-way gun with moving firebolt action and air-cooled smoking barrel. G-Man Jim will never run out of ammunition again. Not with the Mattel Firebolt two-way gun. Neither will you. Try it. Get it wherever toys are sold. Only $6. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
And now to bring us up to date on our story of the Leopard Hills. Just about the time that Gunga was born, two little English girls, daughters of the English regent, disappeared and were never heard of again. Then Gunga heard a village rumor from a man named Asit saying that an exiled former palace mahout a man named Babu knew that the girls still lived in the strange Leopard Hills. Riding their elephants, Gunga and Rama started through the jungles toward the hidden house of Babu. As Gunga had predicted, they reached the house of Babu just before nightfall.
Babu, wake up. It's too early to sleep.
You know my name. Who are you?
I am Gunga Ram, and this is Rama. We work as house for His Highness.
Oh, sit down, Sahibs. You're a long way from the palace. Years ago, I too worked as a mahat for His Highness' father.
So old Asit has told me.
Asi. What did he tell you?
He has told me everything.
And so after 3 years with the leopard worshippers, Asid and I realized that we could no longer rescue these children. Asid, who was not under suspicion, returned to the palace, promising to keep my secret.
But Babu, why did you not return and tell the Maharajah?
Oh, but I was under suspicion. I was afraid.
Then you have lived here in exile for these years?
Such is so. The little ones must be grown almost to womanhood by now.
Anyway, Babu, it will be as I agreed. You will come with us as guide and interpreter. And I promise you that when we return, you will again work as a mahat for His Highness.
Oh, such is good. If we return. It is strange we have seen no leopards. Even the sun leopard frequents these parts.
Though I have watched, not one leopard have I seen. It is good to have this wood, Babu. We cannot leave the fire when darkness comes.
Aye, such is so.
The Screaming Mimi rifle, the rifle of the year. Look, Screaming Mimi, the only rifle that shoots the screaming grenade you can hear. Listen. Release gun lock, you've got a close-range pistol. Shoots the same screaming grenade. Listen. Get the Screaming Mimi rifle with a grenade you can hear. Plus a detachable Screaming Mimi pistol. But that's not all. It shoots 5 plastic bullets. And look, there's a separate Screaming Mimi pistol, too. This one shoots grenades and caps. Screaming Mimi, the only rifle that shoots the grenade you can hear. Screaming Mimi by Remco.
See you at the temple of Leopard Hills.
Aye, it is just as you told us.
Such is so.
Yes, now listen carefully. You have marked the trail well, so that if we become separated, you can find your way back alone. Now, when we get there, do not speak, for your tongue will be strange to them. If it is necessary to say anything, I will speak to them in their tongue.
Such is good. But let us go. I am anxious to find out if they still worship these English girls as leopard queens.
And the real leopard as the king.
If they live, you will see. But we had better leave our food and bedding here lest they suspicion us.
Strangest worship I have ever seen. To keep the ones they worship in chains in a tower.
Where do they keep the queens after worship? Who is that big one?
He is Ashok, the high priest. But shh, we cannot talk here. This is the Leopard Temple. Somewhere in this temple, the queens are guarded. But come, let us go.
It is a good thing Babu brought us these bananas. I was very hungry.
Babu said we would be safe at the back of the temple. I hope he is right. I hope nothing happens to him or we would have bad trouble.
So, it did not take me long to find out.
Aye, Babu, you are back soon. What did you find out?
I think we have a chance. Tonight they keep them in the tiger room, which is on the ground floor of the temple.
Aye, the ground floor. That is very good.
But what of the guards?
If my information is right, only Ashok, he is the high priest, will be guarding them.
Asha? That is enough.
Now, here is my plan. Tonight, we will wait until it is dark. That is when all the people are at the evening meal. You are fleet of foot, Rama?
I can run as fast as a turtle.
Here, Babu, eat.
Welcome. I've spent $11 billion building a Milky Way machine, and no one could stop me from making my own Milky Ways. Copycat! Don't do that. What have you got there? A Milky Way copying machine. Observe. Here goes the delicious chocolate malted milk. Then the creamy nougat. The chewy caramel. Yeah? This wraps the whole thing in chocolate. Presto! A Milky Way! And it comes out here. Ouch! My own machine turned against me.
It's trying to tell you something. Even a machine knows that a Milky Way is the one candy bar that can't be copied.
But then how will I get that flavor of a malted milk wrapped in chocolate?
Why don't you just go out and buy a Milky Way?
I never thought of that.
You are a big oaf! Why did you not come and catch me?
They say they remember very little of their childhood. This one was 3 years old, and the other was only 2.
Ask them if they remember their English names.
Colleen? Judy?
Judy and Colleen. We must hurry, Babu.
Do not talk.
Look through that door. See if the way is clear.
Hey, the big one returns.
Quickly then, through that door.
It leads to the cellar. Hurry.
Be very quiet.
She says he has gone to rouse the people, and they will surround the temple.
Then let us go, quickly.
Rama! I thought that... When he came through, I thought that someone was coming up the room. So when he came right into the room, I took the club and I struck him.
Rama, you are wonderful. But quickly, we must go. Hurry.
Nose?
Nose?
Mouth?
Mouth?
And so Babu's self-exile was ended, and the daughters of Sir Guy and Lady Balder were returned to civilization and home.
There's a brand new pet on our block that all the kids are rushing to see. It's the cutest little poodle,
And it belongs to me.
you'll love this lively poodle. Penny the poodle by Mark. Make Penny sit and stand and walk. Turn the head, Penny even talk. When you're out with Penny the poodle, you're bound to have a lot of company. 'Cause owning Penny the poodle makes you lucky as can be.
You make Penny do all kinds of things without batteries or motor. Penny sits. You make Penny's head turn either way. Tug on the leash and Penny stands. Then make Penny walk with that little tail wagging happily. And say, you want to hear Penny bark? Just squeeze the control on the leash and...
Make Penny sit and stand and walk. Turn the head, Penny even talks. Get Penny the poodle by Mark.
Get your cello, Squeaky. Gang, today Squeaky is going to give us a solo on his cello. Well, it's almost a solo, except Midnight's going to beat the rhythm on our drums and cymbal. Well, go ahead. Come on, play it pretty, Midnight. Go ahead, Squeaky. banjo on my knee, and I'm going to Louisiana, my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was dry, the sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, doo-dee-oo-dee, oh, don't you cry for me. For I come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee. That was pretty good, all right. And now, Froggy the Gremlin, you can use some of your magic and become visible so the gang can see you. Plunk your magic twanger, Froggy.
Hiya, kids, hiya, hiya.
Froggy, if you want a singing lesson, here comes Professor Pastai Fasuli.
Thank you too much. It's so nice to be here.
Why don't you go home?
Go home? Why, I'm just got here. I'm gonna teach you the nice kids how to sing. Now, children, to sing proper, you must breathe proper. First, you close your mouth, Then you open your nostrils.
And wiggle your ears.
And you wiggle your ears. And you waggle your tail. And what's the matter for you? What do you think I am, a donkey? I'm going to teach you the nicer kids how to breathe right.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. You take first the breath inside, eh? 1, 2, 3, and then you push the breath outside. 1, 2, 3. Of course, I cannot breathe and count at the same time. So, who's gonna count it for me?
I will.
I'm saying, who's gonna count it for Signor Pasta Fasuli?
I will.
Okay. Well, you do right, huh? I breathe and you count.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
What's the matter for you? No count!
Got a frog in my throat.
He has a frog in his throat. And tell me, how do you get inside your own throat?
I sneaked in like you.
I'm no sneak.
You crawled.
That's right, I got to hear. I'm gonna crawl right in. What a crawl, you shut up your mouth! Now, bambinos, first we're gonna learn about the scales, eh? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti.
No.
Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re.
No.
Next I'm gonna make a pizza pie out of you! Huh? He's disappeared. I'm glad. Now, you know, children, I'm singing lots of opera, huh? Like, La donna immobile, qual fiume al vento. Oh, huh? You like the tone? Well, I tell you, it's because I make my mouth nice and round, like the pear shape. Some singers, they make the mouth like a banana. Some even make it like a pineapple, and some even make it like the watermelon. But my tones, they are nice and round. Figaro, 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 Figaro. Okay. You come back, huh? Beat it, scram!
I'll be good, I will.
Okay, keep it quiet. Now, you see, kids, when sometimes you exercise your voice too much, well, and then you get a little hoarse in your throat. Now, when you get a little hoarse...
Throw on a saddle.
You throw on the saddle and you say, I-ho, a pasta fasoli! A pasta... No. You spray your throat with the throat spray. You pick it up, huh? Like this. And you spray. And you sing. La donna immobile, qual più non vento. Boom, 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 boom.
Come closer. See, I'm Miss Cookie from Colorforms Lane. Won't you come into my kitchen? A Colorforms kitchen, see? With magical plastic dishes and cupboards you can open and close. A stove, and oh yes, the milk's in the refrigerator. Colorforms, you know, press to stick on and lift to remove. No scissors, paste, or paint needed. And they never, never, never wear out. When the party's over, just put the dishes in the sink and the pots in the pantry, and we're all cleaned up. Don't forget, for real fun, get Miss Cookie's Kitchen by Colorforms. Miss Cookie, that's me.
Yes, sir, we're pals. And pals stick together. Now, gang, don't forget church or Sunday school. Remember, Andy's gang will get together right here at this same time next week. We'll have another exciting story and lots of other fun, too. So long, fellas and gals!
And there's a hard drive to the job! And Blue Bomber's block is knocked off!
The one reason I started TVDAYS.com was to have a place to post my videos and the films that I've been restoring.
Stomach's jumping, and I'll feel worse tomorrow. Ideals Robot Commando.
I'm a very lucky girl. I've got a Tootsie Roll Pop.
This is some of the rarest one-of-a-kind material in the country. Unless my collection is saved, preserved, and put somewhere else, no one is going to see this again.
You love Tootsie Roll Pops.
Real one? No, I don't. This is terrible. The one we want is Caught in the Middle.
Hey, cuz, you all rat tail sharp. How about giving us a few of them pennies?
One amazing find was Caught in the Middle, a color kinescope that was made by CBS in 1970. And as I'm watching it, there's Morgan Freeman.
I got things breaking for me. Pretty soon I'll be able to throw some pennies your way. Nice pennies.
Once it aired, it was never seen again, and nobody has a copy anymore, and I was able somehow to get one. But just transferring it and fixing the audio is one thing. I have to put touches up to a lot of the video, so when I'm playing it here, you can see how dark it is in spots. I have to then lighten it up, and now it's starting to look like something.
And the man's just waiting to blow you away. And if he ever gets the chance, bye-bye, black boy.
There's so much history there that needs to be documented correctly. And hopefully, if I can bring it to the public, that will happen.
Is this box number 20 or number 20?
This is ridiculous.
I see a number.
This all has to be taken out. More 16 millimeter. This is 45 years of collecting. And now I have to figure out how to finance saving it all. That's the big question. Because there's a lot of rare, one-of-a-kind items that need to be saved. Must be small. So the key is to transfer it all now digitally, then store it all away. And my goal one day is to walk into a building and there is everything I have in little plastic containers on a wall. Organized.
George, stop the machine. Stop the machine.
This film's so old it just breaks up in your fingers.
Can't you patch it together again?
Not a chance. Celluloid's only good for 20 years or so, and then it gets so brittle you can't hardly touch it.
You mean that we can't even see it? Now that we have it?
There's just nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it. Never had the world known a more wonderful way of recording knowledge. But now it was realized that it wasn't permanent, that half a century of history was about to decay out of existence.